Hi, welcome everybody to Soul Journey 424. Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
So today I think Michelle and I spoke about this, and we want to make this the actual launching point video for the channel. So you're watching this video first, and it actually is not the first video that we've done together, but because we started this and we really didn't know the direction it was going to go, we actually have about 6 to 8 videos already done, which we're gonna Michelle will release when she feels she's ready to release them. But we wanted to give the viewers an overall welcoming video and to tie it together so you know what the goal is going to be of Soul Journey 424. So, Michelle, can you share with the audience what you envision being the purpose of this channel, and why after this particular video do you think it's going to be a good launching point for people to start picking and choosing which of your videos to start to watch?
Well, in the beginning, I wanted to do like a kind of like a journal diary, video diary of my experience going through a Kundalini awakening. And then I think I came to the point where I thought that I needed to do my Kundalini story, because most people that are searching for Kundalini stories are going through it themselves, and they want to hear someone else's story and how they're dealing with it and what happened with them. And because when it happens, it's a little strange, and you kind of feel alone and you don't know what's happening. And I wanted to be able to comfort someone through the process.
So you're probably going to figure out a way to at least let the viewers know what the first the video is, just so it
I will put them in order once I release them, so that you can see how I've grown since the beginning.
So there's really two things. Actually, you gave me some of your notes, and I thought it was only going to be one, but I think there are going to be 2 points, because I think this point is so poignant, and I think the viewers need to understand that a very important point that I think in your life is one of the notes you wrote to me is, for yourself, you have more love and acceptance of yourself.
I do, and I didn't have that before. I thought I loved myself, but I think I was trying to be somebody that wasn't really me, and I didn't know who I was. You know, there's when things in your life happen as you grow and you experience motherhood and death of a child and death of a fiance and death of your mother, and you go through all these different stages in your life: marriage, divorce, marriage. You don't know who you are. You lose yourself in life. And I think sometimes when a tragedy or some major life event happens, it will trigger you into going within and wondering, who am I and why am I here? And what is the purpose of this life, and why is this happening to me? And I think that's the beginning of waking up.
I think there's a term that you and I are sort of sharing now about really this life here, and we may not use it every day, but we almost phrase it as a game.
Yeah.
So we're phrasing that this existence that we have here on Earth as a game, and I think a lot of the viewers, if this is the launching point video, they're watching and they're so confused. They're very scared. They don't know who to trust. They don't, and rightfully so. They're probably not telling everybody they know about what they consider a very confusing, scary, and I think some of them may be even worried about a chemical medical induced state, which we don't know, but I think there's just a level of confusion people have out there.
Oh yeah, it's very confusing. I struggled with it. I'm at acceptance of what's happening, but I was very confused. I didn't know what was happening. I've done a lot of research since all of this first began, but I wanted to say that this had all started a while back. I just didn't know it was happening. I just thought, well, isn't the shades of the trees, they look so vibrant, and little things like that, and that I never noticed before because I was too busy living life and taking care of everybody and driving here and driving there and not noticing. And when people say stop and smell the roses, I would, actually do that and think that's what they meant, just smell the roses. Now I understand. Take notice of the sky, take notice of nature and the intricacy of this life and what it is. Because we're so busy living and going to work, going home, going to work, going home, doing all these things that we take for granted. The animals, the grass, the trees, the different breeds, it's massive. But we don't see it. We're too busy. And some people never get to see it. They live their life and they live and die like that, and they've never stopped to take notice of these things.
So as viewers, a lot of you are watching this right now in that confused, scared state, not sure what to do. I would say, if anything, continue watching these videos. Again, as Michelle starts to upload these videos, there's going to be a time that I'm probably not going to be a part of these videos, but I enjoy making them with Michelle, and I'm hoping they enlighten you. And I think from a third party that doesn't fully understand what you're going through, from what my observations are through Michelle, you are all going through an incredible transition. I hope to get there one day, but I think it's important that you don't believe necessarily the bad stuff from people. And what I mean by that, and I'm sorry to make this almost like a lecture, but I think it's always easy to believe the bad stuff, such as you need to absolutely go on medicine. I don't know, you might, but I don't think it's healthy just to jump to that conclusion, because if you're going through a Kundalini awakening, Western medicine will tell you you need to be medicated, and I would say the enlightened people might say, oh, contrary to that, you need to let yourself go. Also, you being afraid, you need to reach out to Michelle or reach out to the right people, but you don't necessarily want to just go and tell everybody that you're experiencing this, because most people are not enlightened, most people are not awakened, and most people are not accepting of that. And it just so happens Michelle and I are friends, and I trust her implicitly, and I don't think she's crazy. I don't think she's going through a bad thing. My observation is she's going through good changes.
Yes, it's definitely good changes. And what I've learned is that as strange as these things that are happening are, you have to surrender to it. It's out of your control. You can't go back. Once this happens, there is no going back. You're on the road, and by trying to suppress it, all you're going to do is make it harder on yourself. So you have to just surrender to it, and the more I surrender, the better I feel, because I'm allowing it to do the necessary healing, emotional healing and trauma healing, everything that's needed. They call it, oh my goodness, I've drawn a blank. Divine feminine. They call it divine feminine, the Shakti. So once the divine feminine, that is this Kundalini awakening, reaches the point where it's going to reach the divine masculine out the top of the head, that's when things are going to get real. I'm not there yet, but I have learned so much, and it's a good thing. Religious people might tell you it's not a good thing. They'll tell you that you're possessed, or you need Jesus, or I don't know what they would say. I've told one person, and I talked about that in one of my videos. But it didn't go well, which means I'm probably not going to discuss this with my religious friends. So, but I wanted to put myself out there to help anybody that's going through this, and to, if they need any advice, or if they want to message me, the information is there. I'm available.
So I would say subscribe to this video, save it, and if you can, stick with us, because we're going to talk about one other topic in this video, but we really do welcome you to Soul Journey 424, and hope you stay with us, because I think if you see the videos that we've already made, you're going to see how far Michelle has come in such a short amount of time. I think it's really been about 3 months that we've been actively making videos, and they haven't been every week, but I think you'll be quite impressed with the amount of change Michelle has gone through.
Yeah.
So if you're sticking with us on this video, Michelle, there's one other topic I think
Sure.
is so good to talk about, and I think it's really going to make all of the future videos that people watch and that we record a little bit more relevant, and that is understanding, and this is from your notes, understanding that death is not the end. Michelle, could you please elaborate a little bit more on what that means?
Sure. So I have learned through this process, and through my life's journey, that this life is temporary, yes. And when I was in church, they would say that we're humans that have a soul, and we're going to go to heaven someday if you accepted Jesus Christ into your heart. And that's not what I believe now. I believe now that we are souls that have incarnated onto this earth. So we're not humans with a soul. We're souls that are living a human experience. And we're going to live out life. We're going to learn lessons, and we're going to take the knowledge that we know back to the collective consciousness. And as we grow, the collective consciousness grows, and we just go back to where we came from. There is no death. It's just the body, kind of like a snake shedding its skin, or what other? I don't know how else I could explain that, but these are just bodies. They're temporary bodies. We've been taught and programmed that death is a sad, sad time, and it is for a human being. But if you understand that you're not just a human being, you're a soul, and that life doesn't end, that this is just a temporary, short thing. We are limitless. We are endless. We are eternal beings.
And I think a part of it is what I'm also picking up on is, if we kind of just categorize ourselves as energy, mm-hmm. and the human form, this plane of existence, this dimension is the vessel in which we're in. And that's, I think, one of the reasons that we now kind of talk about it as a game, right?
Yeah.
But if this is just the vessel that we're in now for these 60 to 80 to 90 years, because the time is so finite here, we're really not given a lot of time to digest all this information. So we're sort of doing our best to.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get too deep, but what I've learned is that we chose these lives. We chose these lives to go through hardships, and some people would say, well, what is the purpose of that? Why would I choose a life where I'm abused? Why would I choose a life where my child dies? Why would I choose a life that was hard? And the purpose of of choosing that life was to grow, to learn to grow, to expand our awareness and to expand the consciousness, the one consciousness. We are all one. So as we go through these things, and people will come into your life, they might be your soul family, friend, that you feel like you knew before, like you just hit it off and you feel like you know each other and you've known each other before. And when that happens, there's a connection. You probably have a soul, you're part of your soul family, and you're meant to find each other, and that's why it feels so right, because it does feel familiar. Also, deja vu. Deja vu is, it could have been a glitch. It's either a glitch in the matrix or part of your soul family, part of your plan. You may have done this before in a prior life. That's another thing. It goes, you can go real deep down the rabbit hole trying to figure all this stuff out, which is what I've done. And I mean, it gets deep, but I just want to tell you, if you're in a Kundalini awakening, you have to be open, you have to surrender. If the energy gets too much for you, ground yourself. And by grounding yourself, I mean go outside barefoot and walk in the grass. Go out in nature. Go in a body of water. Take a shower. Put your hands in the water. Ground yourself, because sometimes that energy gets so intense that you feel like you're going to jump out of your skin. And I didn't know that in the beginning. So once I realized that, that's what I was doing. In the summertime, I would take my shoes off and go walk on the beach. I would take a shower. I would do all those things that I said. And it does help. Just takes the edge off, because there's a lot of energy flowing through your body, and if you're not used to it, when you're not used to it, let's face it, none of us are used to it. So when that happens, you'll go crazy. If you have to have some kind of an outlet, and talk to people, do your research. It's so important to educate yourself on what's happening, and not listen to people that are, if you tell somebody and they get spooked out, that's not somebody you want to continue the conversation with. Go find you a confidant. Go find somebody that understands. Go find somebody, even if in the beginning I was talking to people online because I didn't know who to talk to. My husband would think I'd lost my mind. People would think I was crazy. And I would think I was crazy had it not happened to me, because I had no idea, never heard of it. Never heard anything about this stuff. I was a Christian, going to church and, going to heaven. And did my son make it to heaven? I was just telling John. I didn't know if my son made it to heaven. But now I know he did. The heaven it's not heaven, it's just back to where he came from. And when my son, who died at 19, when he came to this earth, it was his plan to die at 19 in a car accident. And I didn't understand that. I could not grasp it. I just knew my own personal grief. But had that not happened to me, I don't know if I'd be where I'm at today, because I wouldn't have had to dig deep within myself to heal myself. And that's what started this whole thing.
So I think really the videos that we have already made that you're going to watch really is almost like chapter 1, different little books in chapter 1. Watch those. Watch them. I don't know if you want to binge them or not, but watch them as they come out. And then from this point, even though this is really launching the entire channel, I think you're going to find the conversations which pick up from the very end video that we made a couple of weeks ago. I think it'll be a natural progression, but I think that hopefully will help eliminate some of the confusion that you may have. And again, this is really a learning experience for Michelle and I, and hopefully the vernacular we use with you will be a little bit better to understand, but you're going on this journey with us, so welcome aboard. And again, please hit the subscribe button, and any questions, please reach out to Michelle.
Yes, thank you. thank you for watching, and best of luck in your journey. It's in you.